When the COVID-19 pandemic hit last year, live music and entertainment was one of the first industries to come to a drawing halt. Lives of musicians and other artists were drastically turned upside down as our work suddenly ceased to exist. But as you viewers know, the beautiful creation of live music didn't actually stop. Through the use of technology and creativity, groups and artists around the world created new mediums to bring the joy of music to households everywhere. While live streams and recordings could never truly replace the magic of live and in-person performances, we musicians have had to ask ourselves, what's next? Where do we go from here? Can, or even should we, ever truly go back to the way things were pre-pandemic? The Breathe Collective was formed in response to these questions. Not only did we want to give a voice to underrepresented composers in our industry, but we wanted to help forge a new path forward for our art form and our audiences. We in the Spring Wind Quintet, one of the 3 ensembles of chamber music Hawaii based in Honolulu, decided that since we couldn't put on live performances together, then it was the perfect time to connect with groups around the country and create something new. Aside from our group, there are 3 other wooden quintets that make up the Breathe Collective. The Keon Quintet based in Minneapolis, Adelante Winds in San Antonio, and the Oregon Wind Quintet in Eugene, Oregon. The mission of our collective is to engage underrepresented composers in the creation of new works for winds that illuminate the significance of breath in an ongoing cultural narrative about systemic racism, police brutality against the Black community, and the impact of COVID-19. The acronym for BREATHE, as well as the vision for this project, is blending responsive experiences of art towards healing empathy. Each of the 4 wooden quintets has partnered with a composer of their choosing to commission a short new work that will then be premiered together via livestream as one larger and complete work on Saturday, September 18th. The composers of the Breathe Collective are Jungyoon Wie, partnering with us in Spring Winds, Dr. Gary Powell Nash, partnering with Keon, Carl Wershba, commissioned by Adelante, and Mark Taylor, commissioned by Oregon Wind Quintet. Jungyoon Wie, whom Spring Winds has chosen to collaborate with, is a composer based in San Francisco, but is originally from Seoul, South Korea. She first came to the US at the age of 15 to study abroad. While now only 30 years old, Jungyoon's music often grapples with the complex emotions of identity, with recent works speaking to the marginalized experiences of women. The short piece she has written for us is titled Where Our Breath Comes From, and is dedicated to all the victims of violent crimes. This is the first piece she has ever written for Woodwind Quintet, making this project all the more exciting. Within the piece, Jungyoon combines everything she loves about each instrument, from the oboe's ability to cut through textures to the bassoon's warm and relaxing tone. Within her program notes of her piece, Jungyoon writes, "In my personal life, I seek a balance between being an individual and being a part of a community. I believe there is a way to have them both without compromising each other. There's been a lot of violence and hatred recently towards others whom we think are different from us. As a composer, musician, and citizen, I oftentimes feel helpless. However, this piece is my way of showing how we can create something beautiful while preserving our own individuality. I invite you to listen to this piece and also the stories of the people around us." While we realize everyone has faced incredible adversities this past year, we only ask that you give what you can. Funds raised for this campaign are tax-deductible and will only go towards supporting us in the Spring Winds and our portion of the Breathe Collective. No funds raised will be covering the costs of the other 3 groups. These funds will support commission, recording, videography, and artist fees. While you may only be able to give a small amount, even $10 goes a long way in supporting this relevant and important project. If you are unable to give, we hope you can still support us by liking our Facebook page at the Breathe Music Collective and subscribing to our YouTube channel, where you can find more information and content. Please feel free to share about our project and this Kickstarter to anyone you know that might be interested in supporting the creation of purposeful and meaningful new works for winds. We thank you so much for your time and are wishing you and your loved ones the best.